Good morning, everyone. We are honored. Good morning, everyone. We are honored that you are able to join us as we share significant updates on the Philippines' largest and most valuable real estate investment trust, RL Commercial REIT Incorporated, or RCR. As Robinson's Land's flagship commercial office REIT, RCR is envisioned to be the bellwether of the Philippine office REIT market. In September 2021, RCR joined the Philippine Stock Exchange with an initial portfolio of 14 high-quality assets, carefully curated for its stability, diversity, and focus on the resilient BPO sector. These assets are spread across 9 locations nationwide, making RCR the REIT with the widest geographical coverage. Today, we are poised to expand RCR's portfolio to 16 assets with dividend accretive investments. This will extend our reach to 10 cities to further diversify revenue stream and to mitigate any concentration risks. Subject to the approval of the regulators, our plan to grow the company is coming a year ahead of target based on the REIT plan. Moreover, RCR's portfolio is strengthened by the land lease tenure of up to 99 years. This supports RCR's sustainable growth and profitability. In line with our commitment to drive shareholder value, we have consistently declared quarterly dividends since RCR's listing, with yields higher than the REIT plan. This is a testament to RCR's brand of excellence in producing strong returns for shareholders. Before our team takes you through significant developments in RCR, we would like to congratulate the PSE, President Ramon Monzon, COO Attorney Roel Refran, the directors, officers, organizers, event partners, and Bloomberg for the success of PSE's first grand virtual investors conference. Thank you very much for providing us a platform to reach out to the investor community. Again, thank you everyone, and we wish you a good day ahead.
Pleasant morning to all. Thank you for this opportunity to present the Philippines' largest real estate investment trust, RL Commercial REIT Inc., or RCR. Today's agenda will cover the RCR snapshot, some operational updates, and financial highlights for the first quarter of calendar year 2022. But before that, we are pleased to inform you that RCR won the Best Philippine REIT Award from the Asset AAA Sustainable Capital Markets Country and Regional Awards 2021. We were also recognized as the Best Sustainable REIT by the International Investor Awards 2022 and part of the FTSE Global Equity Index Series for Asia Pacific, as well as the MSCI Small Caps Indices. RCR remains to be the highest in terms of market capitalization of 73.1 billion pesos based on the closing price of 7.35 per share last March 31, 2022. With the acquisition of Cybergate Bacolod last March 8, RCR's asset size for 15 office developments is now 435,682 square meters of gross leasable area. With the addition of this new asset, the number of key cities has increased to 10 key cities with the addition of Bacolod City. RCR remains to have the longest in land lease tenure of up to 99 years. RCR enjoys the full support and backing of its sponsor, Robinson's Land Corporation, and it has access to the sponsor's excellent expansion pipeline of over 400,000 square meters of office gross leasable area. RCR offers 15 high-quality PESA-registered Grade A assets in prime locations. The portfolio is 89% in Metro Manila across various CBDs such as Makati, BGC, Ortigas, Mandaluyong, and Quezon, and in key cities of Metro Cebu, Davao, Naga, Tarlac, and Bacolod. Aside from the quality of our assets, our strong tenant base also provides income visibility and stability. With well-spread maturity profile and a weighted average lease expiry of 3.6 years as of March 31, 2022. In 2021, all expiring leases have been fully renewed and replaced. At the beginning of the year, we have already renewed or replaced approximately 23% of the expiring leases this 2022. All assets in Metro Manila are Grade A or above, with EXA, Zeta, and Terra properties boasting the highest prime grade quality and are LEED certified. Our solid operations resulted in an average occupancy of 99%. The diversification model of RCR is truly unmatched. Here are the assets comprising RCR. With the recent acquisition of Cybergate Bacolod, RCR has maintained its widest geographical reach from 9 key cities in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao to 10 key cities with the addition of Bacolod City. Our top 10 tenants feature major international BPO operations and MNCs like Accenture, Concentrix, Induja Global Solutions, Ernst & Young, and Teletech. RCR's portfolio is focused on the BPO sector, a sector that is resilient and continues to grow. About 80% of the portfolio are BPOs with minimal POGO risk at under 3%. In March 2022, we announced our plan to acquire 2 assets, Cybergate Bacolod and Cyberscape Gamma. Cybergate Bacolod was acquired by cash last March 8, 2022, with a gross leasable area of 10,367 square meters, while Cyberscape Gamma, with a GLA of 44,797 square meters, was infused via property for share swap, with definitive agreements fully consummated last April 20, 2022, and subject to the approval of the Securities and Exchange Commission. Portfolio size and reach of RCR have expanded with the infusion of 2 assets. GLA increased by 55,000 square meters, or a growth of 13%, from 425,000 to 480,000 square meters. And in terms of reach, another key city, which is Bacolod, has been added, making the geographical reach to 10 key cities. In terms of environmental and sustainability efforts, RCR is committed to obtain LEED, or Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design, or BERDE, Building for Ecologically Responsive Design Excellence, certification for all new Metro Manila buildings. 2 of its high-quality assets are LEED certified by the U.S. Green Building Council. Terra Tower is LEED Gold certified, and Zeta Towers are LEED Silver registered buildings. This equates to energy savings and efficiency. The use of energy-efficient building features, reduce emissions, and power consumption is one of the pillars of this strategy. In addition, we have installed rainwater harvesting system in our select office buildings. The water harvested from these catchments are being recycled for water irrigation. The safety and importance of our office tenants are our high priority. We ensure that the office airflow rate meets DOLE requirement. Lastly, we have installed sensor type and contactless water fixtures in our toilets, as well as soap and alcohol dispensers. Moving on to the financial highlights for the first quarter of CY 2022. We are pleased to report that RCR outperformed target performance per REIT plan on the back of stable revenue stream and operational efficiency. For the first quarter of 2022, RCR generated revenues of 1.24 billion, slightly higher versus the REIT plan. EBITDA margins remained stable at 81%, resulting to an EBITDA amount of 996.8 million pesos, owing to operational efficiencies. RCR has zero debt, but has the capacity to increase leverage of up to 70% of deposited property value due to the higher issue credit rating of PRS AAA with a stable outlook by Phil Ratings. With zero interest expense, net income exceeded the REIT plan by 2% to 989.7 million pesos. Meanwhile, adjusted funds from operation available for dividend distribution amounted to 970.7 billion pesos. We have been consistently paying dividends since RCR's listing last September 2021. To date, RCR has already distributed 0.2505 pesos per share. This resulted to a total return of approximately 16.29% as of yesterday's closing price. For those who will be joining us in the virtual booth, we will be giving away complimentary co-working passes at Workable, as well as a discount code with free delivery from RLC's Mall Dash. This ends my report. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the presentation. Now we may move on to the Q&A session. Perhaps, first of all, in terms of the two acquisitions that you have mentioned earlier, in terms of Cybergate Bacolod and also Cyberscape Gamma, I'm just wondering, when will RCR start to realize revenues from these two assets?
When you're on mute.
Sure. I can. I guess the infusion of Cybergate Bacolod will start to accrue in March. It's already accrued in March. So March onwards. We actually completed the transaction on the first week of March. But for the Cyberscape Gamma, we are currently obtaining the necessary approvals to start accruing its revenues. So probably within the first half of this year.
Okay, thank you. And perhaps if I can follow on with further details on the acquisitions, I realized that you have bought Cyberscape Gamma from RLC. When do you expect to issue shares to RLC for the acquisition of this asset?
That is, we will issue shares upon approval of the relevant regulatory bodies, which is we expect also within the first half of this year.
Okay, thank you very much. And perhaps if you can share a bit in terms of your infusion plan or growth plans moving forward.
Sure. I guess we have we actually RCR plans to infuse assets through various means, right? So firstly, on the sponsor's part, so sponsor has substantial assets that we can infuse into RCR. In fact, we can almost double the size of RCR now in the next couple of years. We're also looking at the third-party assets that could possibly be infused into RCR. But rest assured, all the assets that will be infused into RCR will be dividend accretive, and hence we enhance the value of RCR. And all infusions are also vetted by the fund manager and the board of directors.
Thank you very much, Kelvin. My next question relates to the hybrid working environment that we are seeing now. Have you received any pre-termination requests due to downsizing? as a result of the hybrid working environment that we are seeing at the moment?
Ken, let me answer that question. So we have not received at RCR, we have not received any request for pre-terminations or downsizing. But also allow me to shed some light as far as the sponsor is concerned. I think what we have seen is that there are actually opportunities because of the hub and spoke model. There are now opportunities for growth in the provinces, and we do have presence in Iloilo, Bacolod, Cebu, and Davao. And there have been inquiries for expansion, for more business growth for IT BPM sector. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's very clear. Perhaps if I can move on to your acquisition plans going forwards, given that you are a pure play office REIT, I'm just wondering, would there be a chance for you to acquire non-office asset? Or do you intend to just remain as a pure play office REIT?
Well, as of now, the short-term goal is to be a pure office play. However, we're not closing our doors to non-office assets. It will depend on the situation at some point in time in the future. Also, for the plans to grow RCR, we also have the CEO of the Fund Management Inc., which is the fund manager of RCR. Maybe she could share growth plans for RCR, which is Ms. Katrina De Leon. Kat?
Good morning, everyone. So with regard to the plans of RCR as far as its sustainable growth, so it is exploring various options. Number one is through sponsorship via Robinson's Land. Robinson's Land right now has 688,000 square meters of gross leasable space in terms of office space. And out of that 688,000 square meters, more than 400,000 has been infused into RCR. So in the future, RCR has a potential of about 200,000 square meters of additional space that can be infused into RCR. In addition to that, Robinson's Land also has office spaces within its malls business, which is approximately around 70,000 square meters. So that is also another venue for growth. And in addition to that, as far as venturing into other types of assets, the number one consideration for at least for the fund management is for us to make sure that we will be able to drive value as far as the shareholders are concerned. And for us to do that, we have to explore a lot of opportunities that would be dividend accretive to RCR and to its shareholders. And investments are not limited to office assets. Right now, the reason why the portfolio of RCR is mostly composed of office assets is because the office assets have been the most resilient, especially during the time of the pandemic. But now that there are talks about revenge spending, revenge travel, that would trickle down to the improvement of the economy, that would also bode well for the real estate sector and other sectors of the real estate market, such as the retail, possibly hospitality, or even logistics. So we are open to all of those venues for the growth of RCR.
Thank you very much, Katrina. That's very exciting growth opportunities there for RCR. Perhaps if I could move back to your main office REITs business. Over the past few years, we have seen a reduction in terms of POGO operators in the office space. What are you seeing now at the moment? Do you get more inquiries from the POGO operators? And are you open to having more POGO tenants going forward?
Thank you for that question, Ken. First, allow us to emphasize that RCR, we have a 99% occupancy, so very little vacancy in RCR. But of course, having said that, we have never closed our doors to opportunities to lease out vacant spaces. But I think the fact that we are very focused and we're very happy with the BPO sector that continues to grow with us. They have proven a lot of resiliency even during the pandemic. So of course, majority of our office spaces are with the BPO sector. And the very minimal exposure to POGO, what we have learned is that there are those POGOs that have really learned how to manage their office or their operations even during the pandemic. So I think those are the good types of opportunities when POGO is concerned. There are, in fact, inquiries, I think, because of the opening up of travel restrictions. So again, we are open to opportunities, especially if it means helping us inch closer to 100% now that we're already at 99%.
Thank you very much, Jericho. That's very interesting to see your thoughts with regards to POGO, and also it's good to know that you are at 99% occupancy rate, which is very high for the office REIT sector. That wraps up our Q&A session. Perhaps if there are any final remarks.
Rian, would you like to do the final remarks?
I guess firstly, I would like to thank everyone who's participating in this event. So we're talking for RCR. Rest assured that we will continue to look for assets that will be dividend accretive in order to improve the total return of the company. As mentioned by our chairman, Mr. Frederick Go, RCR strives to be the bellwether of the Philippine office REIT. So we will exert all our efforts to ensure that the initial objective of why we listed in the first place will be maintained. And thank you to everyone. Jerry,
thank you very much. Thank you very much, Kelvin, and the rest of the RCR team. And that wraps up our PSE Investor Day 2 morning session. We still have 1.5 days